Good morning and welcome to the very last day of action. And we are very much looking forward to the women's marathon. So here is your full lineup of runners and riders. We saw Sarah Klein waving to the camera, the Australian. Watch out for Eunice Kerwa, the Kenyan who now runs for Bahrain. She's gone low 221s this year. And Chang Quin Ding is a fascinating athlete. She had a local win in China and then 9 days later came 16th in the World Cross. There's Dibaba, fastest woman in the world this year. Tsege, third in London, and Tufa, the other of the Ethiopians, won the London Marathon and won Shanghai last year. Japanese trio, Shigatomi there. She was 11th in New York a couple of years ago. Had a reasonable run in the London Olympic Marathon. And here we go, the 2015 Women's World Championship Marathon is underway. And we shall be enthralled with all the twists and turns of drama.
There are some athletes in this that might even find the early pace difficult, but then they're here to represent their country. Each country at these World Championships gets a chance to send one athlete to participate in any event, and sometimes they take part in the marathon because obviously they haven't got the standards necessary to be part of the track. But
Drazdowskaite, I'll say that a couple of times throughout the morning to try and get on top of that pronunciation, but she's just decided to track the early leader. There she is in second place, the Lithuanian, 34 years of age, been around a long time, was fifth in the World Junior 1500 as we just look at a couple of athletes who've been dropped off the back of the chase group. As we see yet another one of these marvellous landmarks, Quanmen. Shame we haven't had a chance to have a visit yet, no. Steve, but there's been too much world-class athletics to enjoy here in the stadium.
Well, the Shangmen Gate there, that was one of the major sort of tourist points that people go and see if they come to Beijing. And Beijing is a beautiful city. Not only has it got the historical, obviously, the historical side of it, but some of the, and I've been keep saying it throughout the Championships, the actual architecture here, the new architecture, the new Beijing is something to behold. They really have expanded at an incredible rate, but they've done it so well. Beautiful architecture all through the city.
It's a little bit hazy at the moment, so it's not as warm as it has been at 7:45 in the morning on some of the other days of the championship, but I think that's quite a sensible pace for the early stages. Nothing too savage, one or two people dropping off the back. Plenty of time yet to crank it up and watch the group being whittled down. Long way to go. Japanese, including Maya Ito, who checks her watch. Just continue to dominate the early pace here. Nothing to separate this group, of course. Prokopeva trying to hang on to the back of that group. Aguirre, as we saw there, had managed to bridge the gap. So those are the leaders. And, well, so we're coming up to, what, a quarter of the way through the race.
Well, I don't think much has changed in a strange way. This group of, as Rob was saying, about 15 of the women have been together for some time, maybe one or two joining them, one or two dropping off. And then there's been another group, the peloton or whatever you want to call it, just behind by about 300 meters or so, almost doing a similar thing in their own way. There they are. Look, you can just see them about 300 meters or so back there. And Costa, perhaps maybe one or two of the lone athletes between the two groups.
It might only be her, and certainly the last time the cameras focused back, it was Katerina Beresova, the Slovakian. She's agonisingly close, Costa. You almost think, without expending too much energy, there she is, just find that last 10 metres and reattach.
So you see the motorbike flashing lights there. That's the group that's chasing.
With Beresova just ahead of them, so perhaps she'll get some company as the American Burla continues to push the pace on a little bit.
Well, the funny thing is, I mean, last night in the 5,000 metres, I was obviously pleased that Mo Farah actually won the race, but I was disappointed in the Ethiopians. They didn't seem to have any race tactic at all. They were just waiting for something to happen, and when it did, they just didn't follow. And some real class athletes there from the Ethiopian team, and it seems to be the case in all their distances at the moment. They just, apart from obviously Dababa, they don't seem to have a race plan. They just seem to sort of drift along, and they seem to be doing the same thing here, which is a bit of a worry because they're playing into the hands maybe of some of the other athletes if they do that. One we must always give another. We haven't really been mentioning old Hae Song Kim there, have we? But good on Ding, there she is. She's on her own and she is closing, no question about that. It was 25 seconds before. It's probably down to about 20 now. And hopefully that the last, what would it be now, perhaps 30 minutes or so, 35 minutes or so of the race. Sun Gong just working well at the front. She looks comfortable. She looks as if she's been told to do something, and she's doing just that. She's working hard.
Sun Gong, some 3 or 4 minutes quicker than her Kenyan compatriot. Dababa is the fastest woman in the world this year. The tiny Ethiopian, effective style, effective stride.
But these four are fighting for it. Not much to choose now. Kiowa's piling it on. Sun Gong looks good. She looks over her shoulder to check where Dababa is, and Dababa is there. There's the shadow of the great stadium now, and they're stretching out. Dababa just pushing on a little bit more, just maybe inching her way ahead of the other three.
4 women in contention for 3 medals. It's going to be agony for one of them and ecstasy for the leader. They're turning towards the shadow of the stadium. The tiny Ethiopian saved her best for exactly the right moment. They're coming towards the line, still driving, still sprinting. It's going to be gold and silver to Ethiopia and Kenya, but what a sprint to the line, what a finish. And it's going to be Mare Dababa. What an amazing, amazing run. Dababa takes it by a single second. A superb finish to that run. Kiprop takes the silver, and a brave bronze for Eunice Kerr for Bahrain. We have never seen a finish as tight as that. It could have been as tight as it would be in an 800 metres. Kiplagat, a great champion in her time, but today she wasn't destined to finish on the podium. She concludes this race with pride and dignity intact, but it does remain 2 world titles for her, and at last the Ethiopians have a global champion in this event, and her name is Mare Dababa. The final of the women's 5,000 metres. Genzebe Dababa going for a truly historic double after scorching to victory in the 1,500 metres. Her sister, Tirunesh Dababa, the world record holder, the championship record holder, she has 2 golds in this event. Can the younger sister add one to the family collection? or will Almaz Ayana prove problematic for Genzebe Dibaba? What kind of race is about to unfold? So how do they go about trying to run the sting out of the legs of someone who can run the 1,500 meters in 3:50.07? Genzebe Dibaba, lightning quick this year. She's in the form of her life, and now she's got the global outdoor title. She can relax into her running. And Steve Ovett, as we've seen in the marathon and on the track, Onishi and Suzuki, the two Japanese athletes, at the front, setting the pace. They hate following in the early stages, don't they?
They do, and quite rightly so. They make an honest race out of it, really. Onishi out in front there, Suzuki just behind. It's amazing, though, that the other athletes are not trying to go with it, because if you've got the likes of Dibaba, who can run 3:50 for the 1,500 metres, it's a bit like Mo Farah in the 5,000 metres for men that we saw previously in the programme.
So the early rhythm of this race being established by the Japanese, but Dibaba is tracking every move.
She's doing everything that she has to do, really, Dibaba. And it's going to be one of those races, I think, where it's going to be a cat and mouse between her and Ayana, who's in 4th place, over the last 4 laps or so. I think they're quite happy, both of those, I think, to let the Japanese athletes just take it now through at a respectable pace. Not slow, but a respectable pace. Suzuki just moving ahead of her compatriot there, Onishi. Kibua, well, she's been the best of the Kenyans so far, just moving through onto the shoulder of Ayana. Behind her, though, Susan Kuchen is leading the European challenge, some, 30 metres back from this group in front.
Well, now we have a race proper on our hands, Steve, because Almaz Ayana has hit the front. She's the fastest woman in the world this year, and she's in the lead with her compatriot, the gold medalist from the 1,500, Genzebe Dibaba, on her shoulder, and Mercy Chirono leading the chasers. And this is more like it. This is a great race. She knows she's going to have to push the sting out of Genzebe Dibaba's finish, and she's really going for it here. This is a brave bid for gold.
Yeah, 68-second lap. The two Japanese who'd set the pace way back now, they went through 2K in 6:06.26, and then the two Ethiopians went ahead.
Yeah, here we go. This is it. Ayana now, she's got to do this. She's got to take it on, and she's got to take the sting out of Dibaba just behind. As you said, Chirono there.
She's in 4th, and Kibiwott needs to come past her and does so to try and close the gap on the lead 3 if she's to stand a chance of finishing on the podium. This is fast.
Yeah, it's fast. Ayana got annoyed when she raced Dibaba in the Monaco Grand Prix, where she did most of the pace making, and Dibaba went past her. She didn't like that at all. She thought that Dibaba should have shared some of the pace making.
Well, and this pace is devastating for the rest of the field. Mercy Chirono in 3rd place is world class, and she is just going backwards. She's now been caught by Teferi. So it's Chirono, Teferi moving past on the outside as we're watching the women in 1st and 2nd in a separate level of class for the gold medal. Ayana still leading, but look, when she glances up at the screen, the nightmare is still a reality because Genzebe Dibaba's still there.
But she's pushing on. Look at this. She's actually going even faster, and this is a break. This is Ayana at her best. She can really pile it on, and she had to do it now. She had to do it with about 3 laps to go and keep the work going. Dibaba looks across. She knows maybe she's had it, but if Ayana starts faltering over the last 2 laps, then Dibaba will come back at her.
She is miles clear of the champion and the world record holder in the 1,500 metres. A lead of 85, 90 metres. The battle's on for the bronze turfy up against Viola Kibiwott. But this is a demonstration of class. She was outkicked by her compatriot in the Paris Diamond League when they were going for the world record. She felt she was unfairly treated and did more of the work than Genzebe Dibaba. Well, if she needed any extra motivation, she has produced an amazing, amazing race here And Genzebe de Barber may even get drawn into a battle for the bronze. Almaz Ayana has produced one of the bravest, one of the most impressive pieces of championship distance running we've seen for many, many years. Ayana is the world champion, and she's beaten one of the best athletes in the world this year. Genzebe de Barber is having to hang on here. She's going to be passed by Turfy. She's having to respond. Coming back through on the inside. It's going to be an Ethiopian 1-2-3, but what order? Brilliant. Turfy comes through for the silver, and Genzebe de Barber has to settle for the bronze. An Ethiopian clean sweep, but not necessarily the order we were expecting, and not the way we were expecting it. That was incredible.
The 7th fastest of all time, that race, after a very, very slow start. That's incredibly impressive.
That competition really hotting up. Almaz Ayana has just produced one of the great performances over 5,000 metres, a championship record. Sembere Teferi out-dipping Genzebe de Barber on the line. The 1,500-metre champion was destroyed.
Well, all eyes will be obviously on Asbel Kiprop. There's a little bit of a rumour, though, that he may be suffering from flu. We'll have to wait and see. But if he is, that's a shame. Eyes concentrating on at the moment on Mikalufi there, the Olympic champion. He goes in the outside lane. What will the pace be? What will tactics be amongst these men? The gun goes. Asbel, as always, rushes to the back of the field. Nick Willis at the back of the field too. Wolte coming across, the big, tall Ethiopian.
Menangoi leading on the inside. Aman Wote, the Ethiopian record holder, on his shoulder. Kiplagat tucked in 4th place, and actually almost losing a little bit of ground there. The inexperienced youngster, Timothy Chariot, coming wide on the outside to try and give Menangoi a little bit of help. And Kiplagat right at the back of the field, not interested at the moment. And watch out as well for Nick Willis. He looked razor sharp, the Olympic silver medalist over 15 in this stadium in 2008. He looked really good in qualification for this final.
Well, Menangoi taking it through. Wolte there. Centrovich, the American, in 4th place at the moment on the curb. Manzana, the other little American at the back. They're struggling at the moment to keep up with the pace. Going through fast now. Chariot it is, I think, of Kenya over the back straight. Very languid strides. Menangoi just behind him. Wolte there. Centrovich in 4th place. At the moment, the big man, or the big two maybe, are at the back. Asbel just loping along. Mikalufi in the white and black, middle of that pack. Coming around now, he knows he's got to keep up at this pace. It's not that fast. Chariot just loping along. Menangoi again just behind him. Wolte is there. Not much to choose. This pace isn't fast.
Kiplagat nicely poised. And look at Asbel Kiprop. He's just moved from the back to the middle of that pack. And he probably needed to do that. There are these rumours that he might be suffering with flu. There are some really, really quick men in this field, and he can't allow them, if the pace suddenly accelerates, to get 5 or 6 metres on him.
Chariot still moving ahead. Centrovich now coming to the fore. He knows that on the last lap he's got to be up there. And they're coming now with just 600 metres to go. These guys really are starting to bunch. Charlie Grice of Great Britain, we haven't mentioned him. There he is in the blue strip on the inside there, boxed in at the moment. Tensions are starting to rise because this is now going to be a bit of a sprint over the last 400 metres, and there's some very, very fast men in this race. Centrovich moving himself out onto the shoulder of Chariot. Kiplagat coming wide. Charlie Grice trying to get out. Igadir, the other fast finisher, coming right on the outside now, and Mikalufi is shadowing everything. Nick Willis on the inside. Igadir tries to get there. Centrovich tries to get there. The last 400 metres of the 1,500 metres, and it's going to be a burn-up. Running fast on the inside there is Manganoi. We saw that in the semi-final. He likes to hold that inside position and work hard. Here comes Mikalufi. This is what he did at the Olympics. Is he going to do it again? The charge is on. It's Mikalufi, Mangaloi. Igadir is there coming through. Igadir looks strong. Mikalufi is gone. There's a long, long loping stride. Asbel Kiprop, can he close this sort of gap on Mikalufi? The task is hard, but he's coming fast. Mikalufi is there, Igadir is there, but here comes Asbel Kiprop, the reigning champion. He's pouring it on. Igadir is coming hard. Mikalufi is holding it, but here comes Kiprop. Kiprop's coming through. Kiprop is going to get it. Igadir is second. Mikalufi, I think, is going to get third, but it's going to be close on the line. Absolutely fantastic from the big man. You don't get a better race than that. He is a serious talent at 1,500 metres. I love watching him. If he's ill, well, I like to be ill like that because that is some running. Igadir on the track, can't believe what was going on there. It was all happening in the last 100 metres, but it was happening better for this man.
The way he came through on the last lap was sensational.
That marvellous run from Asbel Kiprop. 3 world titles now. 3 gold medals in his pocket. Manganoi, the other Kenyan, coming through for the silver. And Igadir just dipped on the line.
So the final of the women's javelin. 12 have qualified for this final. So this is the full lineup. Burbeck full start with. Then Gliedel of Canada, Oselina Latvia, Borman, USA, Husong of Germany, Liu Hui of China, Molitor of Germany, Viljoen of South Africa, Li Lingwei of China, Spotakova of Czech Republic, Winger USA, and Stahl of Germany again. All the competitors in this field have personal bests of 64 meters or more as we meet the finalists then in this women's javelin final. And then the first of the Chinese competitors in the final. Huge roar for Liu Hui, 5th in the Olympics in 2012, winner on the Diamond League circuit in Shanghai this year. Then Katharina Molitor, 6th and 8th in the past 2 Olympic Games, also 5th in the World Championships 4 years ago, consistent at top level. Sunette Viljoen is 4 times the African champion, twice the Commonwealth champion, world bronze in 2011, 6th in 2013. At 32, she's always a major contender. 69.35, her personal best. Immediately followed by Katharina Molitor from Germany. 61.37 so far. Launches that javelin, and that also is going well. And that also is close to 65. Well, we've seen 3 quos in quick succession, just short of 64 meters. It really is close in this competition. No 65-meter throws, but they're gathering behind as the competition builds in intensity with this throw by Molitor, who's thrown 66.40 for a personal best. 64.74, she takes the lead by 2 centimeters. With those 3 women just under 65 meters, and here's Sunette Viljoen of South Africa. Oh, she's hit that one hard. And it's over 65. That is the lead. That's the first 65-meter throw that we've seen here. So the Chinese athletes relegated to 3rd and 4th, having taken that early lead. And it's Viljoen now. Mighty release there from the South African. Yay. 65 plus. Let's see. $65.79 for the lead.
The stadium so excited. China going brilliantly in the javelin.
Yep, this is Liu. I think you know there's a huge noise when this throw lands. Noise building in intensity because they can see it's a terrific throw. And it is indeed. It's a throw which is way beyond the 60-meter line. It's the throw of her lifetime. She's got a personal best of 64.95, and she smashed that. And she's gone past Sanette Viljoen. Viljoen took the lead with 65.70 in the fourth round, but Liu has gone past that and has taken the lead in round 5. 66 meters 13 for Liu. Viljoen in second at 65.79 now. We have, this is the last throws of the competition. This is the penultimate throw. This is Liu, 66.13 in the lead. Oh, it's another super throw. It's no further, but there's just Molitor to go. Viljoen has finished. She's in second with 65.79. Lee is finished. She's in fifth. Obergfull has finished. She's in fourth. Just one thrower to go. Katrina Molitor of Germany, who is the only one that can deny Li Lingwei of China a gold medal. This is Molitor's last throw in the javelin. 64.74, she's in third place. Out it goes. How far is it going to go? Oh, a fantastic throw. Is it enough? Is it enough? 66.13, but what a performance by Molitor. What a response to seeing that big throw. Molitor, perhaps one of the least favoured of the German throwers. She's been there or thereabouts for a long time, and she's got it. It's the gold medal goes at last, and China are denied. They have to settle for a silver medal. It was a wonderful throw here by Molitor. And this is the gold medal performance. Well, you can see the yellow line superimposed at Liu's distance, and Molitor has smashed it. She's produced the throw of a lifetime. Previous best 66.40, and in the final throw of a world championship, she's just thrown 67.69 for the gold medal. Once again, terrific action here in the Bird's Nest Stadium. Well, the Chinese must have thought they were on the verge of another gold there, and it was so near. But what a performance to come through and add over a meter to your best just when it matters. Consolation in some ways, it's an Asian record for Liu, but the gold dashed at the last minute, and she's in tears. This is the champion, Katrina Molitor of Germany. Great tradition, of course, in German throwing. And in the end, it has to be silver for Liu.
Now we turn our attention to the penultimate track event here in 2015, the women's 4x400 meter relay. The United States, the Olympic champions, will start here as the favourites. Jamaica have got 4 from the final. Nigeria had a great piece of qualification. All 4 of these women made the final. Christine Day, Sharika Jackson, Stephanie Ann McPherson, Noveline Williams-Mills. Williams-Mills has got massive experience, 3 relay medals across 3 different Olympic Games. And remember that individual bronze back in 2007. 4 bronze medals for Great Britain in this event, including 2 years ago. Christina Hurugu goes lead leg, hoping for a better run than she produced in the individual final. But she is a 2-time world champion and won the Olympics in this stadium. What a quartet. Sanya Richards-Ross, Olympic champion. Natasha Hastings, 9 times the world championship gold medalist. Alison Felix, the individual winner of the 400. and Francina Makarori, who came to these World Championships as the fastest woman in the world this year. Well, it's arguably one of the hardest legs to run, so long, and that is why some of the biggest teams in this final have gone with their best athletes. Sanya Richards-Ross is closing down on Christina Huragu. Christine Day, the Jamaican, out in 6, is running well. There is Richards-Ross with a Huragu, but remember the Briton tends to come late on these legs. Kotliarova's going well. She's up onto the shoulder of Perossier, the French woman. And Huragu is trying to respond. Good run as well from Regina George, as she's now being passed by Christine Day. Perossier's recovering a little bit against the Russian. And Huragu's pulling a little bit of distance back from Richards-Ross. Jamaica from Great Britain. And the Americans are in 3rd. This will be fascinating on this second leg. The Jamaicans have Shericka Jackson, bronze medalist in the individual, but look at Natasha Hastings coming. And on the second leg for Great Britain, it's Annika Onora.
Well, at the moment, the Jamaicans have got a 3 or 4 metre gap really at this point, and it looks as if Jackson is going away. She's got, what now, 10 metres or so on the Americans. Can she hold it? She might fade down the home straight, but at the moment, the Jamaican team are having a fantastic first 2 legs.
This is a brilliant run from Shericka Jackson. Natasha Hastings is doing all she can. It's Jackson to Stephanie Ann McPherson. Alison Felix on the 3rd leg for the United States. And it's Ailey Child of Great Britain in 3rd, with France in 4.
But this is what I want to see. Alison Felix, flat out over 400 metres in a chase. She could close this gap. She is capable of closing this gap, but really, it's a matter of, 10 or so metres now. The Jamaican team still holding on, first place, but Felix is closing.
Alison Felix, the individual 400-metre champion, is running a storming leg here. She's putting Stephanie Ann McPherson, a world-class 400-metre runner, under real pressure here. Jamaica against the United States, and look at Felix. This is so strong. Felix hands on to Makarori. A great leg from the individual champion. And it's Noveline Williams-Mills going anchor leg for Jamaica. Great Britain are in 3rd, Russia 4, Nigeria 5. Well, this is turning into a great battle. We said that they had the best field assembled on paper, the Americans, but Noveline Williams-Mills is still in there. She's been part of some brilliant relay quartets for the Jamaicans. She's won medals at 3 different Olympic Games. But Makarori is starting to pull away. Can Williams-Mills find anything in the last 100 metres? Great Britain still in 3rd, Nigeria 4th. She's coming. The Jamaican is coming. Makarori's tying up. I can't believe this. So close. Jamaica on the line. Noveline Williams-Mills has taken apart Francina Makarori. And it's bronze for Great Britain. 4 individual finalists. They didn't have the champion, Alison Felix, who put the Americans in a commanding position on the start of that anchor leg, but they didn't bank on Noveline Williams-Mills.
And I tell you, the most special leg for them, I didn't have a watch on it, but Shericka Jackson on the second leg would have run something very fast.
Well, when Alison Felix ran that 3rd leg, I thought America have got it. She pulled them back into the fight, and she went past to hand over, really, to Makarori, who's the fastest woman this year in the world. But in the end, that Jamaican team with a world-leading performance, absolutely fantastic.
A thrilling way for the women's track programme to come to a close. Jamaica denying a star-studded quartet from the United States. Great Britain with another bronze. Mutaz Barshim has got the best jump in the world this year, but the charismatic man from Qatar has had some wobbly form in the last 6 or 7 weeks. And watch out for the likes of Jiawei Zhang, who will be entertaining the crowds in his own inimitable style. Derek Druin, Commonwealth champion, Pan American champion, he too has climbed to 240. What kind of form is the defending champion and the European champion in? From Ukraine, Bohdan Bondarenko, 237 this season, but by his standards, he would have hoped for more. Can he turn it on here in the Bird's Nest? What a character and what a reception. Jiawei Zhang, 238 this year. This guy wears his heart on his sleeve, and he will do again tonight if he can get on the podium. He loves it. So, Bondarenko, the defending champion, slightly short of form coming into this competition. Second jump, second clearance. That's great from the Ukrainian. First time over 225 and then electing to miss 229. And
Shows
that
his
decision
confidence.
has reaped dividends. He looks as though he's moving really well and feeling really good as well, which is so important for the high jump. 2 out of 2. This guy has certainly got the crowd excited. Jiawei Zhang, perfect so far. Can he keep it going and match what we've just seen from Bondarenko? Crowd will go mad if he does. Oh, yes! Wow, how brilliant is this? Great stuff from the Chinese women in the javelin. And Jiawei Zhang is still very much in the mix for a medal here. He has gone 238 this season. I think that was in Eugene, and he went absolutely berserk when he made that clearance. He wears his heart on his sleeve, and the crowd love him for it. The Commonwealth champion, the Pan American champion. But this surely would top the lot. This is one of the most important jumps in the Canadian's life. He knows he's on the podium, but no Canadian has ever won this title, and this is the gold he wants the most. Druin for 236. Oh, that was so close. Oh my goodness me. We're living every twist of drama here in the Bird's Nest Stadium. He knows that was so close as well. Bondarenko's place in the history books could be that no one has ever successfully defended this title, not even Javier Sotomayor. Cuban winning twice, but Troy Kemp sandwiched in between. Bondarenko for a place in the history books. No, not as close as Derek Druin's. So what odds then on a Chinese athlete, Jiawei Zhang, with one jump for the gold medal, the very last individual medal to be decided here in the Bird's Nest Stadium. If he can do this, they will hear the roar several kilometers away from the Bird's Nest Stadium. He's confident enough, he's charismatic enough, and crucially, he's talented enough as well. 238 already this season. What must be going through his mind? A nation is gripped, and the entire stadium are willing this man to glory. Oh my gosh! He was a tiny bit hesitant on his run-up. There was a little stutter there early on. A great effort, but the pressure attached to that jump was absolutely enormous. And so we go on.
Behind him qualifying, what are you talking about? Jump off.
Derek Druin. The bar lowered to 2:34. Pan American champion, Commonwealth champion, aiming to become the first Canadian to take the gold in the World Championship. Oh, and what a platform. What a display of nerve and class from the Canadian. He's in the driving seat here, and it's up to Bondarenko and Gao Weijiang to respond. That was brilliant from the Canadian. Bondarenko has to do it on this jump to defend his title. Oh, and he's gone. A wave to the crowd. A brilliant effort. But it's not to be the gold here for Bohdan Bondarenko. He hasn't had a perfect season. He gave himself a great chance here. The question remains, does he share the silver medal, or will this battle for gold continue? This is it for Gao Weijiang. He has to clear 2:34 and match Derek Druin, or it's the silver with Bondarenko. The whole stadium are roaring him on, willing him on. Not to be, it wasn't close, but he has produced the best finish from a Chinese high jumper in history. Bronze back in '83 for his boyhood hero, and he now becomes the toast of a nation. World Championship silver for Gao Weijiang, silver for Bondarenko, and it's the gold for Derek Druin, the first Canadian to take the high jump title.
One other slight problem, we've got the men's 4x4 about to come out as well, and that could obviously interrupt things. And there is the lineup for the 4x4. Russia, Cuba, Trinidad and Tobago, Belgium, Great Britain, United States, France and Jamaica. And we'll have the teams coming out. Here's the Americans. They won the last 5 times, and their team is Verberg, McQuay, Nellum and Merritt, and 3 of them were in the squad that won the medal last time, and Merritt has no less than 5 gold medals in succession at this event, having run in the heat 5 editions ago. Then we have Britain. Rabbi Youssef was the individual final, Delano Williams, Jared Dunn, and a relay specialist in Martin Rooney on the final leg. Lane 4 is the Trinidad and Tobago, a highly talented team. 6 last time. They've got Rennie Coy, Lalonde Gordon, Dion Lendor, and the World Junior Champion, Macho Cedeno, on their squad. Away they go. The United States have David Verberg in 7. Right on the outside, Peter Matthews, who ran so well in the heats and semi-finals of the individual event, running blind, but it's a super start by Verberg, who's taken the US right up to the Frenchman on his outside. On the inside, René Quao of Trinidad is also having a good leg, with Jonathan Borlée of Belgium outside him. But it looks like the United States, in the shape of the small figure of David Verberg. They may well get the lead. We'll have to watch for that, but a fine start by Youssef for Great Britain, who's running very strongly as well as Quao of Trinidad. So we come up to the first changeover, and it's the United States who just take that pattern, but just outside them. The Frenchman finished well as well. It looks like 4 abreast here, and the Trinidadians have got Lalonde Gordon. For the United States, McQuay showing just in the lead there now. And the French have got Atine Venel. And the Trinidadian, the big figure of Lalonde Gordon, out coming up. But here goes the Americans, Tony McQuay. McQuay it is who leads for the United States. Jamaicans now in 4th place, with Ricardo Chambers running for them. Britain have Delano Williams. So it's the United States who'll come up for the second changeover. They're being overtaken though. So let's see what happens at this changeover. Well, it's narrowing the gap a little bit for Britain in 3rd place. Jared Dunn takes over. For Trinidad, they've got Dion Lendor. For the United States, it's Bryson Nellam. So, Trinidad and Tobago, United States, Great Britain. The Jamaicans coming up fast, though. Jamaicans up, contesting. They're going to come up into 3rd place, perhaps. A fine run here for Rasheen McDonald, who ran that brilliant first heat in the 400 metres. It's a close race. Britain lagging a little bit now behind in 4th place. It's still Trinidad and the United States, and then Jamaica, then Britain. Coming into the final changeover now. And it's going to be little in it between Trinidad and the United States. Trinidad have Cedeno, the World Junior Champion, and just about level with him now is LaShawn Merritt, who's won 5 successive golds at this event. LaShawn Merritt, the individual silver medalist, is up on the shoulder of Cedeno. The Belgians are there. A spirited run, though, right from the back. The Jamaicans, the marvellous Jamaicans, with Javon Francis has gone right into the lead. Has he gone too early? Behind him, though, the experienced figure of LaShawn Merritt is giving chase. Then the Trinidadians, then Martin Rooney for Great Britain, then the Belgians. What a burst that was for Francis. But the experience of LaShawn Merritt is up on his outside. And it's LaShawn Merritt. It's going to be 6 wins in a row at this event for Merritt. Back they come too with the Trinidadians. USA first, 2nd Trinidad and Tobago, 3rd of Jamaica, 4th of Great Britain, 5th are the Belgians, 6th of the French, 7th of the Russians. What a fine race there. It was changing all around that last lap, and LaShawn Merritt was so cool there in bringing home the United States of America to that lead. And Trinidad have broken their national record. It's a world lead for the US, and Britain, in fact, got 3rd. Well, I missed that, but Steve Ovett, what a run for LaShawn Merritt.
Absolutely superb. Experience pays in that sort of situation, doesn't it? He did all he had to do. And in the end, really, Martin Rooney came through. It was very fast there, Peter, in the end, to snatch that bronze medal.
Same time, but he got it, yep.
Just on the line for Great Britain. Trinidad and Tobago, what a great run from them. A national record in 2nd place. They really did make United States run for it.